recorded, which means, again, please don't say anything silly. We're going to get into some really good stuff here, guys. I'm just giving everyone just a minute or so to come in. And we'll be able to get right to it here. Guys, do me a favor, turn on some video cameras here. I don't like just staring at nobody. If you're able to, please turn on the camera. You know, you're all beautiful. Terry, that's a real camera. Wow, you zoomed right in there. Very, very difficult running these meetings when you don't know who you're talking to. But good news, we're going to be getting right on this in just a minute. We've got all these Otter things recording the audio, and we got Kenny from California, so that's great. We got Alicia from the other side of Florida driving, and she's going to focus on the road. I told everyone I did my DNA search. I'm 3% Jewish grandmother, which means I worry about everything. So please be careful. That's really important that you're careful. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it here. How many of you are doing business with absentee owners, have actually made a focus on that in your careers? I'm really curious. And because nobody has the camera on, it's hard to see. Octavia, how much of your business comes from outside of your area? Octavia is not even here today. I don't know what's going on.
Yes, I am here today.
I'm going to wake everybody up. It's not just you. I'm going to pick on everyone, Octavia. I'm an equal opportunity picker here. So go ahead.
I would say a lot of my business comes from out of the area. So,
Okay.
I'm licensed in North and South Carolina, so it's comes from a little bit of everywhere, I must say.
Getting it all over the place. Okay, that works. And have you actually targeted it?
May you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Have you ever targeted these people? In other words, have you come up with an actual strategy to get people who do not live in that home, who may be there, be perfectly happy in Canada or God knows where, and suddenly have you found a way to market to them?
No.
Good. That was a lead-in question. I knew the answer was no, and that's why Andy Neal is here. Andy, why don't you say hi to everyone?
Good morning. How are we all doing? Again, I can't see no one, so I don't know who I'm saying hi to. But
okay, yeah, it's hard because everyone's kind of hiding, but you're a courageous man, and I appreciate you being here. First of all, let's give everyone a little bit of perspective. Tell everyone who you are and where you are.
So yeah, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I should put that on my thing, and my name's spelled wrong.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah, Orlando, Florida, originally from the cold and not so sunny UK.
Okay.
Been over here about 9 years. Own a brokerage in England as well, and one here in Orlando. Yeah.
Okay. And I know forgetting recent history, we'll take your best year in business as far as working with absentee owners. What percentage of your business actually was from that in your highest point? I know you're changing focus a little bit on your marketing, but in the highest point, what was the biggest portion, but by percentage of your business that came from people who don't live there?
About 65%.
How much?
About 65%.
65%. Now, if everyone had their camera on, we'd be seeing people going like this. Octavia is excited by that. Andy, thank you. Andy, good. Andy, I come from a long line of men that speak sarcasm. You seem like my kind of guy. I like that. So, so here, just starting now, I'd like to know also if anyone's got their audio on, please do turn it off until they're ready to ask a question. You're all more than welcome to jump in, but please, we don't want to hear the television or whatever else is behind you. So, Andy, 65% of the business. How did you do that, Andy Neal?
Well, look, when I come to America, I was like, I've done this. When I arrived in America, I've been in real estate for 18 years, right? But that meant nothing to anybody in America because I've not been in America. I've not sold a house in the States. I was like, right, I need to pivot and do something different. So I thought, let's target people that I can relate to, people in my own country that may be looking to get out or looking to sell their investment. So I thought, how can I do that? So I found a way to do that, and I've just expanded on it and carried on doing it ever since. I mean, I've slowed down. This year, in the last 12 months, I'd say I'm down to about 45% of my business is absentee. because I've just got into a bit more higher end where I live in Windermere, Florida, which is quite high end here, and I've got into that market quite a bit now. So that's the reason I've tailed off a bit, but I'm starting to ramp it up again to see if I can, fill in some gaps.
Sure.
Because why not? Why not? It was working well, so I need to put my foot back on the gas again.
Okay, great. So aside from having a kick-ass accent, and we know, ladies, British accent really goes very far, right? Yeah, yeah. The guy could be talking about taking out the garbage, and suddenly he just sounds so great, right? So we know that. But aside from the great accent, can you walk us through some of the methodologies that you use to get up to 50, 60, 70% of your business from people who do not live in the home?
Yeah, of course I can. I'm going to share my screen, but just
Please,
give me
yeah,
some.
I'm going to give you the screen in one. Yep, you got it.
All right.
And guys, if you take notes here, we will be sending you. Oh, there's me. Oh, there's that. Okay.
So you can see my screen. You can see me moving across things,
Okay,
right?
I'm like infinity here. This is weird.
Okay. Can you see my document with the
I
88
see
sales?
the document, 88 sales, 36 million. I guess what's 920K?
That's my commission.
Okay, we like that.
13 listings active and pending, and 2 more coming soon. That's from the start of January 2022.
20, that was 2022. So
January 2020 to date, yeah. So just under $1 million in commission in 3 years, just from one lead source.
Say that again.
You can see just under $1 million in commission from one lead source in 3 years.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, so about 300,000 a year. Again, we'll take it. I think Aton will take it. He, if that would be good. Kenny Bellini is like nodding. He's giving a little thumbs up there. So show us right now. Okay. Walk us through. We're now on what?
I'm on the MLS. I don't know. Everyone's looks different. I'm sure this is Stellar MLS. Okay, I've got the external links, which I believe everybody's got. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to go to IMAP, which is this one here. Okay. That brings you into this website, IMAP Stellar MLS. I don't know if every MLS has got it. I'm pretty sure you've got a way of doing something similar or equal to this. So
okay. Step one is IMAP. I'm just saying this so that the Otter records it so that we could send everyone some of these notes.
Yeah. So step 1, IMAP. When you come into IMAP, first thing you do is you're going to select your county. All right. Pretty simple. Then you're going to come to where it says owner name, which is set as a default. You're going to select that. You're going to change it to owner country. Right? And then owner country is equal to, in this case, Canada. Right? That's as much as I'm going to do. You can change it around down here, so you can change it to whatever you want. Lots of things.
So let me just slow you down for a second. So it has literally of the 198 recognized countries in the UN that's got all of them or most of them anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, pretty much every country on there.
I see Fabio's joining us from São Paulo, Brazil. So I bet, and I think he's an absentee owner. So he's probably a good example that if there's someone who speaks Portuguese and wants to target a guy like Fabio, you'd pick.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's an important one in a state like Florida because, there's quite a few Portuguese speaking people here. So, okay, let's go on.
I've never done a search on Brazil, so we could use that as an example.
Okay, good. Let's take a look.
This is live. So Brazil. Okay, so let's do.
Hold on, Andy. I'm sorry. I don't want to screw you up. You do what you want to do.
Okay, so Osceola County is pretty much zoned for short-term rentals. Where Disney is, it's where everyone buys short-term rental property. So there's a lot of Brazilians here. So let's do a search. So I've changed it to the country of Brazil. I'm just going to hit search. That's brought up 862 results. So Canada was 2,500. So that just gives you some context as to how many Canadians there are.
So 800 plus Brazilians, and these are people who claim that the home is not their primary residence.
Correct.
Got it.
That's just in one county. I do 4 counties. So from here, all I would do, if you scroll through, you can see this little sign that tells you that some of them are either on the market, they could be pending, it could have just recently sold. So
it's a little green button on the left-hand side of IMAP.
Correct.
Little green. Correct. Okay, good. Sorry to keep interrupting, but I really do want to get the notes right.
Ask as many as you want.
Thank you.
From here, I won't do it because it takes a while, but from here, you just download, and you can download as an Excel spreadsheet, whatever you want. Okay. I
Okay.
then give that spreadsheet to someone on Fiverr, and they will take out any duplicates, because the last thing you want to do is to send 5 mails to the same company and pay for it 5 times, or to the same house, beg your pardon. So
Okay.
get someone to go through and sort the data. Okay, that's the easy part. I mean, it's all easy, but once you've got the data, you need to put together your message, right? So I'm really bad at writing things. I'm really not that etiquette. So I just put a letter like this together. Literally, dear fellow Florida homeowner, thinking of selling, now might be the best time to maximize your profit. And I go,
Can you send me a copy of that? Are we allowed to share that with, you could say no, but
yeah, I'll send it to you afterward.
if you could, so we could then again, because if it works for you in Orlando, it'll probably work for Kenny in California.
Probably will, but I'd
Yeah.
probably change it. My writing's
Or
not the
if he's
best.
not Andy Neal, plus
Yeah,
his accent
I
is
mean,
great, right?
it's pretty simple. I just tell them some facts that I've been selling over the last 3 years. I'd sold 75 vacation by that point. How long I've been doing it for, if you're thinking of selling, whatever relates to today's market. So I know for a fact a lot of Canadians recently have told me we want to take our money out of the US. So I thought, oh, okay, so why don't I send a mailer to Canada? So this is the one I just sent to Canada. And I had 6 listings from sending this one letter about a month ago.
Okay, and how many letters went out?
Good question. About 3,000.
So
So not a bad return, but not great. But you've got to keep doing it.
okay, let's talk about the frequencies. 3,000 is the same 3,000 people every time?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how much is the mailer? And do you execute the mailer from the United States or do you have a mailing company in Canada?
So I'm going to bring up, excuse my emails, but I'm going to bring up. So this guy, Isaac, his name is Isaac. He sends me. I'm going to copy and paste this and put it in the chat. I'll do it after. But basically, I send out. How do I get the camera back, Ed? Rather than
Oh,
see on
you
screen.
want me to turn your
Yeah, I don't need to share screen now. Because what I'll do, I'll send you all this information. But I just basically found a company in Canada that's based in Canada that I send the letter to and say, hey, can you mail this from Canada to these people? Because it brings the cost down incredibly from sending it from here. I mean, imagine sending that many mailers from the US to Canada. It cost a fortune.
Sure.
So it didn't. I mean, I sent just over 3,000, and the cost was like 1,500 Canadian dollars or something like that, which isn't that big a deal when you get the 6 listings.
Hold on, 1,500 for the one mailer or the multiple mailers?
Just for one.
And how many mailers did it take to actually get the 6 listings? I just want to make sure everyone
That
knows.
was the first one to Canada.
Just one.
From one mailing. I've got 6 listings from
Okay.
one mailing.
Guys, that ain't the worth the cost of admission today. I don't know what is. Okay. I mean, this is some real, yeah, thank you, Kenny. Kenny, make that face again. Everyone look at Kenny's face. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Andy, you're amazing.
It's really simple if we just work at it. But I've also, I've got a huge list of 200 people that have said, hey, take me off your mailing list. Stop sending me your crap. People have given me shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just take them off and I give that updated list to the mail house every month and say, please exclude. And so every month I'll change, every quarter I send them out. I do a new batch of take these ones off and I change the color. So every month they know to change the next ones and take them off the list. So those people aren't going to get upset with me.
And Andy, let me pause you for a second. That gives me 2 messages that I want to give everyone right now. One, speak to your realtor board. Call the legal hotline. Make sure you're not breaking any laws. REIGNation and Ed Bogen and Eitan Benzeno. We are not about telling you how to break the law. That's for starters. 2, letting you in on a couple of future topics here. Daniel, if you could put next week's topic in the thing. In May, we will be having another special speaker. Death, destruction, and financial ruin. Great pillars of business for realtors. Okay, now I do speak sarcasm. A lot of people are wondering, how do I get divorce listings? Where do I find the foreclosures? We're going to be talking about that with the special speaker next month. The dates to be announced. So if you like this, that's great. Also, how to get AI to do all the work for you. We're going to have this as a regular thing, talking about creating AI employees. We've gotten to that level of sophistication with AI. So if you guys want to come to that stuff, you got to speak up and let us know. These things are getting fuller and fuller, and we will be shutting people out. So now's the time to kind of let us know. Daniel will give his email address in there. And please, please, please do focus on what we've got going on. Also, if you haven't joined my WhatsApp group, it's the QR code is right behind me. Feel free to scan it. We'd love to be able to have you in the WhatsApp group where you're able to send out certain messages and, you know, all that type of thing. Okay, Andy, the commercial portion of this is done. Please continue.
No worries. But you know, a friend of mine asked me about this. He's a fellow Brit but lives in Sarasota, and he said, "Show me how to do it." So I showed him how to do it. What I've just done today, he sent one mailing to Canada using the same guy that I use, and he got 3 listings. There wasn't as many people in Sarasota because it's not a bigger vacation area as Orlando. And you know, caveat, we have a bigger vacation area than probably most of you do. So my numbers might be a bit higher than a lot of you guys because we have a lot of people invest because of Mickey Mouse, right? So there's a lot of people that have a second home here in Orlando. So this isn't going to work for everybody, but I think there's probably some people in your area that don't live there that have a vacation home. 100%.
I'll take it a step further. Nicole and Daniel, who are both on my team, we're doing this. Okay, I want to be very, very clear. We're doing this. We're getting out. We're going to be hitting this, and we will report back in the next 6 weeks or 2 months, whatever time frame the sales process is, to all of you. I'm going to put my ass on the line, and we'll actually see how well this works for us. You know, hopefully we have the same results. I would say getting even 1 listing is a big win, let alone 6. But okay.
It easily pays for itself, even if you just do it. But don't give up after one. I was like, the first time I'd done it, I got so much business, it was incredible. So I just carried on doing it. But I wouldn't do it every month because you're going to start to really piss people off. And I know that a lot of people have caught on. So a lot of people are sending to Canada. I don't know about Brazil, South America. I think that's a massive untapped market. If I could speak Spanish, I'd 100% be doing it myself, or Portuguese.
Yeah. So
Maybe I should have found a referral agent, Ed, rather than done this and show people how to do it. I could have made some more money.
So hold on. I think John Grateful has a call. John, can you just tell everyone who you are and where you are?
Yes, I'm John DeCristo with Investor Jackson Realty. I'm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I heard one of my fellow realtors is also a North and South Carolina broker. We should have coffee, but that's a different question. I'm curious if it's working in Canada, why not do it in all 52 states? Can I not pick like Oregon and send them out to Oregon and see if they have any properties in Charlotte? Why do you go out of the country?
Because there's a lot of uncertainty from people in, careful what I say, but people have told me they want to get their money out of America.
Yeah. So, you don't need to be, we've got a couple of Canadians on here right now. We know that a lot of them are trying to do lots of things, but go ahead. You give us.
Yeah, but that was just my, and also I've done England because I'm from England, so people can relate to me. Because I'll be honest, every time an English person wants to do business, they say, Andy, we speak the same language.
I just muted you, Margaret. If you have a question, you could unmute yourself.
That might sound really funny, but English people often tell me we speak the same language. So I want to deal with someone that's English. No offense, but there's a lot of terminology between England and America that they want to speak to me. So I had that initial relationship with people from my own country. So I started targeting them. I thought, great. But now I've started targeting Canadians because one, they speak the same language and they've got investment properties. We have a lot of snowbirds from Canada. So naturally for me, it was easy to target a country as opposed to narrowing down states. Absolutely. Connecticut, all these states up there on the East Coast that are maybe snowbird states. Yeah, we could target those as well. I just haven't done it yet.
Sure. I want to just read a comment to you. I'll figure out a way to do this, but I wish my MLS made that a little bit easy. Eddie, we've been friends for a long time. I want to help you with that because you're one who always takes what we say and you take it all the way. And I really want to see you win. So let's Eddie, if you have time, just drop an email to Daniel at Bogen Homes, and I'd love to help you win with this. You've always been a really good guy.
You might get from Remine as well. I don't know if you've got Remine Eddie on your MLS, but that's worth checking out.
Yeah. Here's the thing. In the digital age, I mean, this is a sharp turn. Obviously, I'm really an AI kind of agent. This is getting back to a little bit more traditional kind of marketing. But on the other hand, most realtors are lazy. Most realtors are really not. They're just like whatever they run. It's hand to mouth. Even some of the best ones are. Amazing, sobering statistic. Last year, of all the realtors, 2/3 didn't make a single sale. 2/3 didn't make a single sale in the United States. Hey, look at Fabio's face. Yeah, that's what's going on. We really just have, and if you sold 15 properties last year, you're in the top like 2%, 1% of people in there. So really, this is a game of people who own this. And here's the reason I say this, even if you're one of the people who's on the wrong end of that statistic, it's available to you. It's available to you. Everyone says, "Oh, you're a realtor." It's like I remember my family was in the restaurant business, and someone said to my uncle Ernie, who happens to be a phenomenal man. He's 93 and just a great guy. He opened an Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side, and somebody walking by when I was with him said, "So what kind of restaurant is this going to be?" And he said, "Oh, it's an Italian restaurant." I said, "Oh, just what we need, another Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side." And he looks and he goes, "Alice, wait a minute, let's change the plans. We need to make this into a bakery." Now, he's like me, he's a wise ass. But here's the thing, it succeeded. It succeeded and it did very, very well because, what you need to do is judge what's going on around you. That schmuck that screwed up your last deal, he's your competition. And the top producer is your competition. But don't just look at the top producer and say, "Oh, I'm doomed because this guy makes more than me." I'm not the number one producer and I'm a top producer. Still, I don't know if Tinka's here. She's beating me. I hope to beat her. Kind of like playing tennis. You still love the person, you like them a lot. You just want to win. It's not a symptom of the disease. Okay, Andy, what else? Any other
Do you know what? It really is that simple. There's not much else to show you. It's one, collecting data, coming up with a good message, and then finding someone that can send it for you. And that's 3 steps are really easy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's such a simple process. It really is.
yeah.
It really is. But that leads on. For example, it's not just the absentees. I got an absentee owner here in Windermere, and I sold it for 1.3, 1.4 million. Because of that one, I got another referral to a $1.5 million house. So it's the opportunities that it can bring as well. It's not just absentees; it's what you get off the back of that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Opening it up for questions here. John had questions. Guys, please don't be shy. You have questions, just ask. I'm not, I want to be able to deliver this to you, and I really hope that you do what I said. I just, the international sign of putting your ass on the line is making an announcement. Daniel, Nicole, we will be doing this. And I invite all of you to pressure me in the next 60 days to see how it went. And if I screw up and it doesn't happen, fine. That's shame on me. I didn't do this whole thing. But there's something in psychology called conversationally committing. When you conversationally commit, you're putting something in the public. When you tell everyone that you're going to lose 20 pounds by the summer or by the end of the summer, that is something that you're putting out to the public, and therefore you're going to want to execute on for fear of embarrassment. What can you do to pressure yourself right now psychologically to win? And that's something that I think is really important to do. You got to really try. You got to really work on it.
Oh, hi, Edmund. Hi,
Hey,
guys.
Karina Pacific. Karina, I love Karina. Karina, I met her at an event years ago, and she shared a cheeseburger with me. Tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Karina Pacific. Hi, guys, in Los Angeles. And I just started my own version of this. Literally yesterday, I put a bunch of out of state database on a drip. But I'm thinking of doing it via mail, as this gentleman is mentioning it. How often is he sending letters? And I imagine the copy changes every time.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see about that, Andy.
So I send them every quarter, every 3 months.
Okay.
Unless something significant changes in the market, like we had a massive rate drop or something significant changes for the better, I'll send it and try and jump on that. So if the rate significantly drops overnight tonight, I'd probably send another one out just because I want to take advantage of it and give the sellers a reason to want to sell. But yeah, I try and change the message every time. And again, that goes back to what's happening in the market. So it's all relative to what's happening in the market at the time I send it.
Okay. Andy, while we're here, can you do a search in, can you do a search right now? You could share the screen again for Palm Beach County, Broward County, and Dade County,
Yeah,
and
sure.
look in the country of Portugal. Because
Yeah.
again, my business partner is in Portugal, and if we could do the mailing out to them and he could take them to lunch, I see, again, and this is like trying to think out of the box, guys. It's just, I don't know if this will work, but I know I could rely on Aton to do that. And if we can make a little bit of deals this way. I once met a divorce attorney, or sorry, an immigration attorney in London, a U.S. immigration attorney, California girl, really nice lady. And she got all her business for the United States working in London because of her proximity. So there's something to it. So how many did you?
You see my screen?
Yeah, now I can.
Only 5 people live in Portugal, own a house in Palm Beach County.
What about Miami?
What's
How
the
many?
code?
How many was that?
5.
5. Is it
Absentee owners.
Miami-Dade?
Yep.
Own a country. You said Portugal.
Yeah. So we're just showing some real
11.
11.
So that's what I'm saying. Some areas aren't a big market, but if I was to do the same and do Miami, but let's do Brazil, there's 188. There's
Okay.
more there.
But to be clear, these are people who claim to be absentee owners,
Yeah.
that they're not
So-
residents there. Okay. So there
Right.
could be more owners,
How
but
do
it's
you define them as absentees?
Because I put what country they live in. So back here in the search, you go to own a country right here, and then you choose what country they live in. So let's do Canada, for example. You've got 3,000 Canadians that live in Miami. Sorry, 3,000 Canadians that live in Canada that own a home in Miami. What an opportunity that is.
and they are, for political reasons or whatever going on in the United States, you believe they are ripe for the picking. You think that there's going to be a run on Canadians wanting to leave.
You've got to be careful. You see these number 2 and 3, the
Yeah.
same person. So you don't want to send.
Okay, so we AI can now clean the data. So once we have the data, we could do anything with it. And if anybody has questions about that, call me. It's no big deal.
Was there another one you said, Ed? Another one you wanted to share?
Let me just close. Yeah. Okay. Other questions?
How do I invite unshared?
I've unshared you. I've unshared you. Okay, so again, just a reminder, next Wednesday morning, this is a good one. We're going to talk about neuroplasticity for realtors. What is neuroplasticity? It is when you saw a movie when you were a kid with a scary face that jumped up in front of you, and today you see that scary face, you might still have that internal reaction that goes to that. That was something, an actual change happened to your brain. A neural connection happened that scared the hell out of you, that made you react that way today. That apprehension that you have to pick up the phone and call somebody to make a sale, that was neuroplasticity in action. That was your parents saying to you, be a good boy, be a good girl, finish your vegetables, don't make too much noise, don't annoy anyone. And that's fine, but not if you're a salesperson. We're professional botherers. Get over it. We professionally piss people off. Hopefully you make some great friends in the process, but for God's sakes, you got to pick up the fucking phone and call. So if you understand that, we're going to talk about what some of the psychologists are saying right now to train your brain to think a little bit differently, to take little short exercises. I'll give you an example just so you know. You could use ChatGPT right now.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I'm muting you, Yolanda. You can unmute if you have questions. But if you have I take ChatGPT and I have the tasks. Anybody subscribe to ChatGPT? Paying the $20 a month? You should. Okay, so you could go into tasks in ChatGPT and say, I want you to quiz me twice a day on something. I do it on several things. Twice a day on Python. I tell everybody I'm learning computer programming. I want a short 5-minute class on Python. I want a short 5-minute class on sales. I want to role play with you for 5 minutes twice a day. And here this thing will now come to you, and it will be just this little bug in the ear. They call it an earworm. It's going to be something that will remind you to actually work on this. After a month, you're suddenly so much better and you don't know why. Spending just 5 or 10 minutes a day on this. We're going to talk about little tricks like this, short, ongoing tasks to make you great. I sincerely hope that you could make it. Again, neuroplasticity for realtors. It's going to be 9 a.m. next Wednesday. Always a bitch and disco time. So I hope that all of you can can come to that. And again, next month, we've got a topic, death, destruction, and financial ruin. We're going to have a special speaker talking about how to get those court cases and things that are actually coming up. And finally, we're going to have an ongoing series, creating your own AI employee. It's a pain in the ass, but once you get it done, and where you could let us do it for you, you now have somebody doing the heavy lifting for you. Really, really important stuff. We got some great stuff going on. Okay. Wow. Who else? We got Fabio. How did you like it? Was that pretty good? Fabio, give me the thumbs up. That's good. Terry, any thoughts on all this? Terry just gives me the thumbs up. No.
Will we have his deck to go through?
Will we have what?
His deck, the program that he uses. Will he be able to share that with us?
Andy's which program?
The thing that he was showing us on his screen.
I will give you the notes. IMAP is something, I don't know if it's in Brooklyn. There's going to be something very similar though, Terry. Guaranteed. Right. It's Freedom of Information Act. All this stuff, all the government does is waste time and give us information. So we're going to tap into that and make it successful.
If you have a title person, they can pull it up, or they have I have Fidelity National, like the platform and Access. I can pull them down, but I have them do the work for me.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karina. Nice to see you.
Hi, Terry.
Yeah. And Karina, again, I'll be in California soon. Got to have another hamburger.
Yes, yes, and fries.
Yeah. Okay, what else? Before we get to wants, needs, and brags, I could also show you some. Okay, Kenny, briefly.
I've got a home in the mountains in the homeowners association, about 2,700 houses, about 200 are short-term rentals. There's probably about 500 plus that are second homes. So it's easy to tell the absentee owners because their mailing addresses are somewhere else. They're not here. They're not here in the mountains. So I'm going to hit them up, and I've been wanting to do this, even though because usually this area is like vacation rentals. So usually the turnover is 3 to 5 years. Because they buy a house, think it's a great idea, they use it for a few years, and they get rid of it. So I'm going to do the mailing. I thought about doing this, so I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay, love it, Kenny. Please let us know about your successes and failures. By the way, there is only one way to know how you've done, and that is to embrace the failure. We screw up all the time, but we fix it. That's the hallmark of an adult and of a true professional. We fix the bloody problem. That's what you really have to do to make it work. Okay, geeking out here before we get to wants, needs, and brags. Anybody here use Claude? Claude, nobody uses Claude. Okay, then I won't talk about it. But Claude, which is one of the major competitors of ChatGPT, just yesterday connected itself with Gmail. It made a deal with Google. So now when you're in Claude, you're going to be able to type into it, what does today's email say? Or did Eitan ever send me an email about 1234 Banana Street? And it will be able to scour that and be able to come up with it and then do all the great things that an AI has already done. Well, here's some interesting things about the Banana Street. This is what's going on. This is, maybe I can make a response right here, right within the LLM. Whether you have Claude or not, I always tell all of you this, all these tools will soon have, it's literally a fist fight, literally a bare knuckle fight to see who's going to be the dominant company in this space. So I would encourage all of you to embrace it. And when we have these events, please do come along because I think it's definitely worth it. There's all kinds of stuff that we can do. And if you really want some of our past workbooks, we've got our 100 prompts for realtors. We sell it online, but we will give it to you for free if you make a notion, but you need to send an email to Daniel at Bogen Homes. Watch Daniel put his email address up real quick. And we will get that stuff out to you. Okay, 9:36, wants, needs, and brags. Now's the time in the meeting to tell us about what you want, what you need, and what you would like to brag about. I think I mentioned to everyone last week, my brag is I've got a phenomenal new listing here at St. Andrews Country Club. It's just under $10 million. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see it all over my social media. And I would love to do a deal with you guys. And we're paying a full 3% buyer broker fee. I think you guys need to emphasize to your sellers the importance of paying a buyer broker fee. Everyone else cheaps out and they think that they're going to be getting themselves more money. And I'll give you the sales pitch that you should write it down right now, what I'm about to say. Yes, yes, Mr. Seller. So when you say you don't want to pay a buyer broker fee, what you're really saying is you want to make more money on the sale. Isn't that correct? No one will say no to that. Finish it that way. Isn't that correct? Now, if I could show you how you're going to be able to make more money by offering the fee and then go nuts. The Porsche building in Miami, 6% commission. There was another building, 7% commission. It should almost be illegal that they were giving away all those commissions. Why? Because they know that we work for a living and that we want to make money. And we need to communicate that to sellers. Really, really important. I've got somebody right now, my buyer hasn't asked to see the home. It might be an okay home for them to choose, but there's a lot of other homes, and this guy's paying 1.5%. And guess what? I don't work for 1.5%. And if the buyer asks me to show it, that's fine. I'll do it, but I'm not going to volunteer it. And I don't think anybody really should. I think, you've got an asset. Your asset is you and the clients that you have. So think that through. So that's my want, need, or brag. Who's got a want, a need, or a brag? You can talk about anything. Your kid's graduating college. You just got a good grade somewhere. You had a baby, grandkid. Okay, Terry.
I have a company with my sister and brother-in-law back in Kansas City where we were buying and fixing and flipping old houses. Sadly, during the pandemic, everybody did that. So we have not had a project for 5 years. My best friend's mother came to us and said, would we like to buy her house? Which, I love this woman. I've known her since high school, but she just allows her family to trash every one of her lovely houses. So we have just signed a contract to buy this house in a cool part of town for a really good price that makes everybody happy. I'm so thrilled that my best friend's mom has come to us and entrusted us with her home. And we look forward to bringing it into the 21st century and getting back to doing what we love to do.
That's it, man. Right on, brother. I like that. Good for you, Terry. Everyone get to know Terry. Write this down. Terry Robinson. He's the nicest guy ever. If you want to practice cold calling, you call him immediately. He's on the map. Daniel, if you could put the Google map up there. He just did that. He's on the Google map. I'll just share that for everyone. If you're not on the Google map, boy, you are missing out. Look at this. This is the Google map. And
Yeah.
look at that. Oh, Livette, look at that pretty lady. Okay, we got this here. We got Melissa. We got all different people. Event. How come, Daniel? Why am I not getting everybody here? Hold on a second. What the hell is that? I'm just okay. I hope it's an adjustment on my screen and not because this wasn't like this before. There's Aton in Portugal. We need to get Fabio in Brazil. Anyway. We got a great map for all of you to be able to, and you get everyone's contact information out of that. He's already put it in the chat. I hope you guys take advantage of,
Yep.
of that.
I got something
Kenny,
here.
go ahead.
My wife and I are starting to look for income properties and houses to flip. My wife's been involved in 3, but we are working with wholesalers. If anybody's worked with wholesalers, she's in LA right now, meeting with like 3 different wholesalers. We've had 2 bring them to us. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. They usually tie them up, you pay them something, and we get the listing or get the property. We don't want the listing. We just want to flip it. So if it's another source to look at for if you have wholesalers in your area.
Very good. Love it. Who else? Anyone? Ferris Bueller? No? Okay. Okay, guys. Terry, was there someone else?
Yeah, who just spoke about wholesalers?
That was Kenny Bellini.
Oh, Kenny, I'm going to touch base with you.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
And you're both in California, and that's
Yep.
that's great.
But yeah.
Well,
I'll
you're in
just-
the same time zone I meant. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
close, but that's what I meant.
I'll put my info in the chat.
Okay, guys. Look, it's always great. I get some high energy out of this stuff. We got a lot of exciting stuff going on. If you're considering coaching, please do reach out to us. Our clients make money, and that's the important thing here. And I want to be able to help you with that. If you want your own AI employee, talk to us about that. We've got a lot of great things going on. Really, truly exciting time. Thank you so much for coming in. Terry, where the hell did Terry go?
I'm here.
Hey.
I'm driving, but
Oh.
I'm listening.
And can you sing and drive at the same time?
Yes, I am talented like that. I can
When
do that, Edmund.
when Terry says that, it makes me look at all of you and say, it sure is good to see everyone today. I really had a great time running today's meeting, and I hope to see all of you next Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. for another exciting episode of
REIGNation.
We lost you a second there. It was a little lame, but you know what, Terry, we love you. Guys, it's great. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes. If anyone has AI questions, you could go ahead and ask them. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming and look forward. And Andy Neal, you're amazing, Andy. You're always great. I hope we could do this again next quarter. I think
Sure.
people really do enjoy it, and I think that people really will get a benefit off of your
Yeah, I'd
experience.
love to get some results.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you. Okay, now for the notes of the autopilot, this is where the meeting ends. I'm going to save those notes. I'm now going on beyond this for, we'll call it REIGNation Overtime, where we could just talk about anything you want. If there's anybody that has any AI questions or suggestions or things, please, now is the time to jump in. Eitan, any AI questions that you have there?
No, not really. I was just playing with caption a lot lately.
Yes. Okay. So the Captions app, I'm glad that you're saying that. The Captions app is an app where you're able to create. Has anyone seen AI Ed? My AI avatar. Let me see if I can pull that up for a second. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Where is this thing? Okay, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna give you my screen in a second. So, this is the Captions app. You could get in on it for as little as $5 a month. Can everyone see my screen? Can anyone see my screen? Eitan, speak.
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're pulling this up here, and we got some little, we're not following each other. Let's follow each other. So this is Real Ed. My newest listing in St. Andrews Country Club. It's going to be coming online early next week. I just want to. So all of you could see that, right? A yes or no is all I need.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and this is AI Ed. All right, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, we're diving into Google's new AI studio, and holy cow, this thing is wild. You can literally share your screen and talk to the AI about what's on it. Want it to virtually stage a room? Boom, done. Need help sorting out a problem? Show it a photo and it'll walk you through like your smartest friend who never sleeps. Honestly, this thing might just murder the whole how-to video industry. If you're curious or just don't want to get left behind, comment interested. And yeah, smash that like button and share it with someone who needs to see the future before it steamrolls them. All right, tomorrow. Okay, so you definitely, now that I pointed out, I think people could definitely see it's a little still shaky, but it's getting better and better and better. That entire thing, by the way, was done with the Captions app. The AI avatar was created by the Captions app. We are creating AI avatars and managing all of this for clients for a very affordable price, so keep that in mind too. The script was written by ChatGPT. The sound and music, I oftentimes use something called Suno. Has anyone seen Suno? Anyone? Okay, here, this is one other thing. You're going to love this. So if you're sticking around this far, stick with me for one more second here, because you're going to think it's really cool if you've never seen it. And so this is Suno. I'm going to go to create. Can everyone see that? Somebody has to unmute and say yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to do a simple thing, and let's make a happy song about my good friend Fabio in Brazil. He is moving to Florida, and I am happy. Something along those lines. And we'll say, let's make it a somebody give me a genre of music.
Caribbean.
Caribbean themed song. Okay, I mean, I don't know how well Caribbean will be, but let's take a look. So now I'm creating this, and you can see I didn't put much thought into it. Fabio is one of those people that you absolutely adore, but you never get to spend much time with. So I just figured I'd pick on him a little bit, and let's see what it comes up with. I think this is costing me a whopping $7 or $8 a month, guys. Okay, here we go.
Fabio's packing under the sun so bright. His dreams are sailing on a new flight. From Brazil to Florida, it's time to go. Catch the breeze, feel the rhythm, let it flow.
You heard that? Not bad?
Yeah.
You know, so when you're making a video for your listing, you could talk about 17615 Foxborough Lane or St. Andrews Country Club or Miami or your favorite time at a restaurant or Marlene, you about how great your service is, you know, in the areas that you serve. You're going to be able to do that for next to no money and layer that onto your video. All of this sounds a little bit confusing until it's not. And again, that's what Eitan and I are doing on a hired basis for everyone to be able to help integrate AI and marketing into their business. So that's the sales pitch for the day. You could obviously go out and do some of your own research with the stuff. It's not a heck of a lot of money. It does take time. And it does take some learning and a little bit of a learning curve. But again, we are happy to be right along with you if anybody would like to chat with us. Guys, that's it. 9:48. I do have a meeting at 10:15. It's great to see everyone. Fabio, are you going to come to the US at any point? You got to unmute. You got to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hello, my Greg.
Hey.
Hello, my friend. I will be there in 2 months, okay?
Oh, okay, good.
Thinking, let's say July or August. And then we'll have some lunch or dinner, okay?
Would love that. That would be absolutely fantastic. And not to be left out, for the first time in 6 years, I'm going to get to meet Daniel, who's actually going to be in the United States. I'm going to plan a nice welcome lunch for him. So if anybody wants to join us for that, we'll be giving you the dates pretty soon. And he's that his head is going to actually explode. That's going to be the fun part. He's going to actually be completely embarrassed by me, but he knows how much I rely on and how much I like the guy. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him here. And if he's terrified of having a luncheon, then maybe I'll just make it a drink or something. But guys, good to see everyone. Make it a great and productive day and reach out as you have questions. I hope to see all of you next week. Take care.
Bye, Ed.
Bye.